Westpac is closing branches and firing staff. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. Let's have a look at this article from Yahoo Finance discussing Westpac. Firing staff and closing branches, everyone. 24 branches and 103 jobs to go. Now, the banks, well, they've really taken advantage of lockdowns, of COVID, to reduce headcount, to reduce these tenancies in these shops that they don't need. Now, for landlords, it kind of sucks because the banks would always be a pretty stable client that'll be in there for a long time, and there's a certain element of quality there with bringing them into your building. But now it's starting to disappear because, well, a lot of people don't go to the bank that often. I'm trying to think back to the last time I actually had to go to a bank branch. It was very rare. While I'm an advocate for cash, and why everyone should have some cash on hand just in case for an emergency, so you're not robbing petrol stations like people did during the bushfires when the ATM machines went out or FPOS wasn't working. I still use the digital dollar more than anything else. It's been years in my business since I've actually got paid by a check. Years, a really long time. And I pay all bills online, everything like that. I transfer it all. Just more convenient. So, let's have a look. I'm not surprised. This is written by Eliza Bavin. Westpac has confirmed it will shutter a further 24 branches and axe 103 workers, the financial sector unit said. Westpac banking group includes St. George, Bank of Melbourne and Bank SA. See, notice how, just look at this, Westpac includes St. George, Bank of Melbourne and Bank SA. So if you have 250 grand in every single one of these different brands of Westpac, thinking that you're protected in each different bank with the government guarantee, you're not. You're only protected for 250 for the entire group. So just keep that, why am I writing in grey there? Just keep that in mind, everyone, okay? So you want to diversify your banks for at least that government guarantee and to avoid the all money in clause. The FSU said the closures are just the latest examples. I think that's the financial sector union, I'm assuming, of the unit. The FSU said the closures were just the latest example of what has now become a monthly attack on its branch network. The FSU National Secretary, Julia Angrisano, said the savage round of cost-cutting would affect tens of thousands of local Westpac customers who will be forced to travel even further to access banking services at a branch. I mean, this is the thing. This is part of the reason why you've got to push to make large cash transactions illegal, because then you don't need to move as much physical money around. Forget all the arguments about it of addressing people avoiding tax. Hardly anyone actually makes cash transactions over 10 grand. I suspect the banks want to push it because it's going to be cheaper for them. This is no longer cutting the fat from Westpac. This latest carving up of Westpac's branches is slicing right into the core of the bank with staff morale at rock bottom as they wait for the axe to fall on what's left of the branch network. Well, okay. If you're working at Westpac and you're waiting for the bank to come down, what do? Do you just sit and wait? No, you look for alternatives. You try and find a different job somewhere else. You don't want to sit there and wait, guys. Last month, Westpac cut another 24 branches and a call centre in Perth. In July, it announced 24 branch closures, all in the name of underpinning profits. Well, that's what businesses have to do, everyone. And if this affects their consumers, their customers enough, they'll go to a different bank. There'll be opportunities there for competition. You want to get more banks out there. Some of the more popular banks, the cheaper banks, are the ones that don't even have any branches at all. And Grisano said it is clear the major banks had no regard for community access across Australia, having shut down 225 branches since January 2021. I mean, she's making a bit of a leap there. I mean, she's a unionist. She has to advocate like this, or else her entire position is meaningless. That's the whole point of it. So that's what King thinks. Hang on. The Westpac CEO, Peter King, of having bragged about slicing more than 4,000 jobs. Well, that's CEOs, cost-cutting measures. That's what he thinks of his staff, nothing more than headcount to be axed when it suits him. And Grisano said, yes, that's reality. You are nothing more than headcount, guys. Okay, it's just a job. The whole bullshit of, we're family, we take care of each other, we care about you, it doesn't matter. That's exactly what it is. Particularly in an organization like that, it's utter bullshit. It's just corporate brainwashing, so you simp for the corporation. What our members see is the casualties of King's carnage, with careers ruined by redundancy in areas where they will have trouble finding a new job. And when it comes to pay at Westpac, the bank is mean and stingy, refusing to offer staff reasonable pay rises as inflation eats away at their real wages and cost of living spirals out of control. Well, that's an issue a lot of us have to deal with, guys, in business. I know in the architectural profession, it feels like fees haven't risen for some time. So, you're losing branches in New South Wales, in Queensland, in Victoria. Mo's losing it. St George are closing branches. Bank of Melbourne are closing branches. And Bank of SA are as well closing branches. So let's have a talk about this, everyone. Now here we have the perspective of a unionist organisation trying to defend their staff. There's going to be some poor people that are going to be out on a job and will probably struggle to find another job, particularly if you've been in that banking corporate culture for your whole life. This is why you have to have, multiple options. And I'm sure all the people I know who've worked in banking have done really quite well. So they should be capable and have enough set aside to kind of handle a rainy day and look for new opportunities. What do you reckon, guys? I can't say I'm too sad. I mean, I guess I'd be annoyed if my nearest branch closed, but then again, I just have to go a bit further. I mean, the difference for me is I'm living in the cities. As some of these areas are in the regions, it's definitely going to be tougher for some people. But how often do you actually have to go to a bank? Anyway, thanks for watching. Check out my other channels, HeiseBim and HeiseSays International, where I discuss other topics, other things. And if you want to support the channel, you can, financially on YouTube or Patreon, or using our referral links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can buy our pocket squares or call us if you need an architect. I started experimenting with a new YouTube feature, the YouTube Shorts, so I can respond to your comments with a short. So make sure you comment, and any interesting ones or things that catch my eye or get me angry, I'll respond to them in shorts, and we'll see how that goes. Because at least there's a purpose to it. And I guess I need to learn how to use the shorts if I want to make a series educating people on embodied energy and all of these other issues that no one seems to care about. Anyway, take care, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.